I think a lot of bedtime struggles are because our kids are too well lit. Yeah. The house is too well lit for our kids. I should say the kids aren't lit. The kids are all lit up, but the house is too well lit. So that be very conscious of that. And I think what's really beautiful about the red light is it mimics firelight. So if you don't want to deal with candles, candlelight can be tricky with toddlers, I'm sure. Candlelight would be beautiful too, if you're so inclined, but you want to make sure you shut off overhead lights. And I see a lot of this on social media. People call it the big light. And I have never been a fan of the big light, but you want to make sure big lights are off. And you want to get a couple of those red lamps so that there's just a softer ambient light and it cues the body to settle down and to go to sleep. So going to sleep is more effortless and staying asleep. But again, I feel like it goes back to that sort of forming of a routine, forming of these rituals that really help our little guys, these rituals of touch points throughout the day so they know what's coming. They know what to look forward to. Okay, it's time for the red lights, mommy. And then you have this beautiful nighttime that just everything slows down. You go for a walk, you come home, you put on the red lights, you start reading stories. It can go so much easier. But I really need you guys to give this a try with your kids and the sleep, because I'm just hearing bizarre things with sleep. Kids going to bed at 10 o'clock at night. I'm hearing like just struggles to get kids. And I think what's happening is, number one, we're rushing through the nighttime routine, but also I think there's so many boundaries being skewed at that witching hour just because, again, our own capacity. So when we think of that, like, oh, I mean, I hear it from clients, and I sympathize entirely. It's like, I know what it feels like to be that exhausted and to just fuck it, right? Yeah. Have a candy bar for dinner, have ice cream for dinner. Yes. Stay up late. Like you get to that point of like, I just can't fight. I can't be the heavy right now. So I understand where it comes from, but you have to recognize, okay, is this a season in life? Is this something that's happening now because I'm on call for a week? Okay. All right. We're going to get through this. But if there's no end in sight, we have to fix it. And I would say at this point in time, I feel like we are in a crisis as parents of being strung out, anxious, exhausted. Parenting is exhausting. It is exhausting. And I will never stop saying this. You guys are in the hardest stage of it where exhaustion is at its peak. It is exhausting. It is fucking hard. How can we change you and your habits and your life to make it easier to keep a fuller battery?